Howdy folks, I'm Brian, and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Am I a Jerk for Calling Out My Kid's Future Stepmom for Treating Me Like a Surrogate? I'm a 29-year-old female, and I dated a guy, Joe, 30-year-old male, for 3 months before he left me to go back to his ex, Kim, a 30-year-old female. Right before we broke up, I found out I was pregnant, and now it's 24 weeks. I let him know, and he was ecstatic. Turns out his girlfriend had fertility issues and would likely never be able to get pregnant naturally, and he has always wanted to be a father. Getting back together was out of question for both of us, so he's still with his girlfriend. Joe was only allowed at the initial appointment because of COVID-19, and we found out I was having twins. According to Joe, when he told Kim, she had a mental breakdown about her infertility and wanted to talk to me. I met them at their house, and Kim stated that she wanted to be involved with my pregnancy because she would eventually like to be the children's stepmother. She started telling me that I needed a home birth, that I needed a formula feed so that they could have the babies half the week, that she wanted one boy and one girl, and that she wanted the kid to call her mama since they would be calling me mommy. I shut her down and said that I would make the best choices for my children and my body and left. Kim continued to be overbearing and texting me every day about my eating habits, exercise habits, and complaining about how her job wouldn't let her take maternity leave. At the virtual genetics counseling appointment, she attended instead of Joe and took over the whole meeting, trying to talk about her family history, which wasn't even relevant. When it came my time for my 20-week level 2 scan, they allowed me one guess, and Joe suggested I take Kim instead of him, which I refused to do. Joe did end up coming, and he found out the gender because I wanted to keep it a surprise for me so we could throw a gender reveal party. I put a pregnancy announcement out on my social media, and then she put up an announcement saying that they were expecting twins the non-traditional way, and how blessed she was. I was irritated, but I kept my mouth shut. Then she threw a gender reveal party and posted it on social media. I wasn't even invited. She also announced that she was having a baby shower. I commented in her post and told her to stop treating me like a surrogate, that the kids weren't hers, and that Joe didn't have any claim or custody of the kids until they are born. I then called Joe and reiterated all of this and stated that I would not be seeing either of them until we went to family court and that my mother would be my birthing partner. He and Kim and some of her friends and family are saying that I'm a jerk, and her mother even called and insisted that I give her one of my babies like this is Parent Trap. So, am I the jerk? Edit, I'm definitely going to get a lawyer ASAP. You all have scared me, but I'm happy you did. Wow, OP. I'm glad that you're getting a lawyer because this sounds like a really stressful situation that you are going to probably need some legal defense on in case she tries pulling something. I almost wonder if he was with you to kind of make this happen in some ways. I don't know. I hate to be cynical here, but it sounds like the short-term relationship might even have just been to see if you would get pregnant because he's always wanted kids. So he may have rolled the dice, and they may have even on some level thought about this possibility. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think that the fun is over, the games are over, and that she is definitely encroaching onto some, basically running over your boundaries here. Yeah, I think that you should seek legal assistance and hopefully make sure that everything is good for you, because they might try pulling something where they might say that you're unfit, or any number of things where they try getting custody of your children. So I would be very careful here. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. OP, I'm not being dramatic in any way when I say this. Get a lawyer now. Keep records of everything. And whatever you do, do not allow yourself to be alone with Kim. Almost none of Kim's behavior is okay. In fact, it's disturbing. Block phone numbers, File a police report for harassment if you have to. Keep yourself and your children safe. Edit. I was so disturbed by this post, I had to come back and add that, assuming OP is from the US, she can go through her state's Bar Association lawyer diary and find a lawyer that specializes in family law. Get a consultation and take no prisoners. Someone else here commented that you're being treated like an incubator, and that couldn't have been any closer to the truth. Stay away from the baby's daddy as well. This is very, very shady. Yeah, something seems a little shady about this. And Kim's mother suggesting that they split the twins between parents? If X and the new girlfriend aren't married, I say get a restraining order for OP and the twins against the girlfriend ASAP. If the dad wants his share of custody, doesn't look like he's done anything the courts would consider inappropriate, but the girlfriend is far out of line to reason with or interact with. Time to send her a message that she has no claim here. If he doesn't rein her in or set boundaries, make him fight for name on the birth certificate and custody, because the last thing you or the babies need is insanity enabler, not the jerk. Adding onto the top comment to say that OP needs to absolutely make sure it's clear to the hospital who is allowed near her or the babies and who isn't. Make certain that the staff understands the situation. Get started on custody now with a lawyer and record all of the things said and done by Kim and her family. This is a kidnapping waiting to happen. Get ahead of it ASAP. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for asking for compensation for something my kid destroyed? We hired a babysitter we've had a few times at a good rate of $20 an hour since it was only for 3 hours in our home. The babysitter is a 19-year-old woman, if it matters. I think maybe the age will affect something. My wife had to rush to work in an emergency, and I was already at work. The babysitter is already familiar with some of our rules, like the 3-year-old is only allowed in the living room, playroom, the dining room when eating. The babysitter, I guess, had an emergency herself and had to be on the phone for 20 minutes. For some reason, she decided to take the call outside. Her rationale was it was private and didn't want our child to listen in. In those 20 minutes, our daughter was able to move the couch to the living room gate, scale the gate, and head to the basement, and pull one of my guitars off the wall. Its neck is all warped, and my luthier said the neck needs to be replaced. I'm asking the babysitter to front the bill on a new guitar, not a repair or neck replacement, as the alternatives diminish the value of the guitar. Mismatching neck to body severely impacts its value, and neck repair does too. It's $2,200. Am I the jerk here, or is she? Her parents are telling us that we're responsible. She's offering only to have the babysat for free. Our friends are saying that we're too harsh, but it was her responsibility, right? OP, let me get this straight. Your 3-year-old child somehow had enough strength to bend the neck of a guitar? Something doesn't make sense about that, because I have a guitar and I would be hard pressed to bend the neck of a guitar. They are pretty sturdy here. Something doesn't add up about this. Either one, you have it in a humid space or a space that doesn't have like constant temperature, and the neck is slowly warping over time. 2, you're storing it without its strings on it, and so the neck is warping over time, or a combination of these things. This does not sound like something a 3-year-old can do. Like, yeah, and over such a short period of time, too. Like, a kid, unless they were, like, jumping up and down on top of that. But again, I don't know. That seems questionable. I would have to know more about the damage here. I'm not a guitar expert, but I would imagine that this seems a little fishy, that your 3-year-old would even be able to weigh enough to bend the neck of a guitar. I mean, look, folks, look. I have a guitar here. I'm pressing as hard as I can on this, all right? I am stronger than a 3-year-old. The neck is not warping, all right? This is, I am not kidding. I am pressing here as hard as I can. And this is not an expensive guitar. It's not a $2,200 guitar. Maybe if I jumped up and down on the neck, it might bend. But a 3-year-old, I don't think they even have the amount of weight to do that. So yeah, I don't know. This seems silly. Very, very silly. I think you're the jerk here, and there's a better explanation on why the neck of your guitar is warped. You're the jerk. Your valuables should be insured and locked up. Your baby gate should be secured. You are responsible for buying a couch that a literal baby can move. What kind of couch is that? You are responsible for interviewing, hiring, and training your employee. You are responsible for your minor child's actions. The babysitter is partially to blame, sure, but you also share a large portion of the blame. The babysitter would be responsible for a portion of the repair, but not a brand new guitar. Your demand for a new guitar means you're trying to profit off of this, and that's why you're the jerk. Music shop manager here. I'd also like to point out that if the guitar's neck was warped and not broken, there's almost no way it could have been done by a baby or child. Necks only warp for a few different reasons. Being stored in proper environments with unregulated humidity. Funny he mentions he stored it in the basement, which can be the kiss of death if it's unfinished or without humidity regulator. Tuss rods or adjustments. String over tension. Having weight against the neck, say keeping it leaning at an angle against the wall for extended periods. So yeah, I'm not an expert here. Maybe string over tension was what I was thinking and not no strings. Unless the child somehow made a truss rod adjustment, obviously not, it would have taken a very long time for that neck to warp, months to years. There's no way it could have been done in 20 minutes. OP likely has his instruments stored improperly and as a result caused his own neck to warp. Edit ad, thank you for the awards everyone. We'll defer to the experts here. I thought something was fishy. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. If you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you all tomorrow. Block phone numbers, file a police report for harassment.